Hi, this is Mark Ramsey, and I want to tell you a story. This is a story about the time I met Steven Spielberg and what it matters to all of us working in radio. It was a few years ago. It was actually at a movie industry event. I do some stuff related to the world of movies that warranted me being at this particular awards event in LA. And among the guests was Steven Spielberg. So, by the way, we refer to him as Mr. Spielberg in the business, just so you know, in case you ever, have this opportunity. So I introduced myself to him. It's in this crowded room with hundreds of people. I introduced myself, and to my surprise, he knows me. He knows me from the work that I do. He's aware of the stuff that I do. He's familiar with the content. I was blown away by this. So for the next 2 minutes, I had the ear of Steven Spielberg. He listened to me. He asked me questions and listened to the answers for an entire 2 minutes. Now, I've got to paint the picture for what we were experiencing. We were in a crowded room with hundreds of people. There were literally people tugging at his coat sleeves to move him, or at least spin him, or relocate him, or turn him, or something to distract him from what he was doing, which was talking to me. So for 2 minutes, all of that meant nothing to him because he was fixated on me, asking me questions and listening to my answers. Now, how did I lose the attention of Steven Spielberg after 2 minutes? Very, very simple. I started asking him questions. And the minute I started asking him about what he was into, what he was doing, what his projects were, you could see his attention waver, and he started looking around, and I lost him. That was how I lost him. So my point to radio is this. The most important movie director in the world, maybe the most important movie director in the history of the world, finds it important enough to spend 2 minutes asking me questions, his audience questions, because he's interested in what I, his audience, have to say and what I, his audience, am doing. He spends those 2 minutes with me, and it was only when I turned the tables that his attention left. So if Steven Spielberg can find it important enough to ask questions of the audience, what about us? How interested are we in our audience? Now, sure, we want our audience to listen more to us, and we watch the ratings like, anal hawks. But how interested are we really in what our audience wants? Do we ask them those questions, and do we listen to their answers? Because you know what? If it's good enough for Steven Spielberg, it's good enough for us.